welcome to this video. This is about round 2 of the Open that I played on Mallorca, Llucmajor Open. I hope I'm pronouncing this East halfway correctly. Yeah, this is round 2, and round 2 was played on the same day as round 1. So the first 2 rounds been this notorious double round where you play 2 games a day. Okay, fortunately only these first 2 rounds had this this setup, so all other rounds were just 1 day, 1 game. That's fine. If you play constantly 2 games a day, it's really a bit much. But okay, the second round was just played a couple of hours after the first round, and I only had very brief time to prepare, of course. My opponent was the young Spanish player Javier Nicolas Zapata, not to be confused with his sister, who's a bit stronger even. He's rated 2140, so I'm a heavy favorite in the game, but still he's much better than the first round opponent. Yeah, well, I had in preparation I had seen that he mostly played King's Indian setups. I went for d4 and was yeah, I wasn't really expecting what he did. He played the Banco. Yeah, okay, we got a Banco, and against this I mostly play 2 lines. I play knight f3, which I did in the game, or I take it and play this long main line with a4 at move 12 or move 13. It's a bit long to show, but knight f3 is my usual choice, especially if I didn't do any special preparation. So this is what I played. I was basically surprised by the Banco here, and now he even did something something more problematic. He now played e6 and transposed to the Blumenfeld Gambit, which I really yeah, I sometimes played it as black in Blitz games, if you watched my channel recently, because it's a fun opening in Blitz for black, because you just have those kind of active possibilities. But it's not like I know anything about the opening. It's just yeah, playing by ear. And now I had to face this as white. Yeah, I basically have no idea what to do. So I tried to remember something, yeah, something offbeat that I could do. And well, what I didn't want to do at all is to accept the Gambit. I mean, this type of play, or maybe a6 first, I don't know. Without any special prep, I don't want to give the lower rated opponent this much activity. So bishop g5 is the natural choice, but this is also a line where black has a wide range of possibilities. He can take on d5, play h6, b4. So I thought for a moment, and then I played bishop to f4. The only thing that I remembered is that this had been recommended in this repertoire book by Larry Kaufman a while ago, and I thought, well, maybe give this a try. I only knew that this is a move that exists, but I have no idea about the details. I did calculate a bit, trying to work out things over the board, and before I played this, of course, and yeah. What I came up with is this as being the critical line, and it seems to be the case that this is a principal decision. Takes, and bishop b7. Yeah? Queen a5 is also a move, but bishop b7 attacking the d5 pawn. And here in my thoughts, I mean, nothing was prepared here. I thought that maybe e4 would be an interesting alternative, intending to play knight e4, bishop d3, just playing for quick development. This only has one drawback, and this is a move that I had not seen, bishop d6. I only found this later when I analyzed the game. It's not a big problem. Instead of e4, white also has the move d6, which I also thought about during the game, just blocking the f8 bishop. And this leads to a really uncommon position. Yeah, this is what I expected actually, but he played something different. He played bishop b7. This is a very uncommon move, but it does not seem to be really bad. Yeah, here white has again some options. Knight c3 seemed to be the most natural move to me, so I played this. Yeah, and here it's pretty clear that white is threatening to take now on b5 with the knight. So black must do something something direct here. It's clear that b takes c4 is bad due to e4. I think this can be quickly discarded. White will get the c4 pawn easily and just has a nice position in the center. The b7 bishop is just biting on this pawn, not being very active. So this can be quickly discarded. I also thought that b4 was bad due to knight b5, and I think I was right in this judgment. However, after knight a6, I didn't see the best move that the computer points out, and this is queen d3, intending a quick e4. What I thought was that maybe g3 or e3 are decent moves. There's also always this knight d6 idea, but it needs to be timed correctly. If I do knight d6 here, this is not leading too much after queen b6, and now I need to get away from this diagonal, and I haven't gained anything. So good moves are queen d3 and g3. This is, however, not what he played. He played e takes d5, and this is a bit risky. It seems to be okay, but it's a bit risky. Yeah, okay, knight takes b5. This was the idea all along. Now I'm threatening on c7 and maybe have knight d6 the right moment. I think here in this position he's committing a mistake, and of course this is a very early crisis in the game, needs to be very precise. He played the move d6, basically overlooking my reply, I believe. What black should do is to play knight a6, and this seems to be quite satisfactory for black. For example, a move like knight d6 is even bad. Yeah, black gains a tempo and has queen a5 coming. That's very annoying thing to happen. So white shouldn't give the check. My intention in the game was just to play e3 here, and this seems to be okay. e3, bishop e7. Yeah, and now my thought was knight c3. It seemed the computer points out a different setup, which is maybe better, but it's a bit counterintuitive, I would say. I was thinking this is what the computer wants to do, and now bishop to e5, castles, knight d6 with a slight advantage. This is probably true, but white is not very well developed. I would have been very reluctant to do that. My idea was to just drop back and yeah, attacking d5, so we would get this type of position where quite surprisingly we reach some sort of hanging pawn formation after he will play d5. And I thought with knight e5, bishop e2, f3, white has a very slight pull, but it's nothing particularly threatening for black. This is what he should have done. He played d6, however. And yeah, here at first I thought that queen a4 would have been excellent, but this is in fact not the case. The problem is after bishop c6, cd5, this is the point, knight d5 and queen e4.
Check.
Yeah, at first you think, okay, isn't white almost winning here? What is black's reply? But he has got knight e7, and the bishop here on c6 is now protected. It is not on b7. And funny enough, white has no continuation here.
Check.
This is losing a piece. So you need to move the queen again. And after knight d5, there's even a funny
Check.
repetition possible. Yeah, this leads to nothing, queen a4. And but I also have this move, and this is what I played. This is in fact a very annoying move for black. Not because knight d6 is an idea, it is. But the main problem is simply this check on e3. Yeah, the quite uncommon motif, but this check is a big problem. as he cannot easily interpose a piece on the e-file. And the worst now happened in the game. He absolutely must play bishop c6 now. That's the only move that, yeah, you can still try to play. Yeah, white is better, but it's not a flat out win. Queen e3 check and king d7. It looks horrible, I know, but it's not a flat out win. It seems white is better, but not winning. Yeah, for example, a move like g3 comes to mind with bishop h3 threatened. Yeah, and then black has this check. And this way gains some counterplay. There are many interesting possibilities here. Instead of g3, white can also try this direct move, knight g5. It is not clear to me, however, that this leads to that much. Black can maybe play here. This is still very murky. The problem was he took here, and after now queen e3. The problem is that yeah, this is basically a loss of tempo, this capture. And what is he supposed to do now after this check? Yeah, bishop b7 is flat out losing after knight d6. In fact, you should still continue for a moment, as queen b6 is trapping the knight. It has nowhere to go. But after moves like queen a3 or also g3, probably the strongest, white is much better. If you look at this, g3 takes here, bishop g2 and just castles. This is just a deadly attack. White is not even material down. He just attacks the king, and black is totally uncoordinated. So this is not really playable. Knight e4 is also giving away material in the long run. Knight d2 is the easiest solution. At least this is what I saw in the game. Long castles is probably also strong, but this is just good enough. Queen here, and now long castles is a strong move. Yeah, f5, knight c3, and now you will win the material here. Or if black takes this, there is knight e4. Yeah, and now this threatens a ton of discoveries. And this, of course, gives away the rook at least. So white is completely winning. Yeah, he cannot really put something on e4, and bishop e7 also not on. This is, yeah, he needs to play king d7. As ugly as it looks, this happened. And now just long castles is strong and simple. d6 is hanging by 3 pieces, so he needed to block that. Knight d5. Yeah, here white has 2 strong moves. I played the simpler one, I guess. I was also calculating knight e5, and it seems that this, with the threat rook takes d5, queen f5, e4, all kinds of threats, it seems to win as well. But at the end I decided to just play queen e4. This is just easier. Rook takes d5 is the threat. He cannot move the knight as b7 is hanging. And I also have queen f5 check as a threat. Yeah, he decided to play queen f6, but we are already, yeah, he's already beyond saving. Queen b6 is a move that also could be checked, but white has more than one good reply. It seems the strongest is or the most forceful is probably knight takes d6. I actually thought about queen f5 in the game. Knight d6 seems to be the quickest, but this was my idea in the game. Queen f5 check. King needs to move, that's the problem. King e8, and now knight g5, and this seems to be decisive. Yeah, let's say queen takes here, and now the easiest is to just take on d5, and yeah, black is beyond saving. Bishop takes, queen takes. There's this one hanging, knight f7, and this is just far too much to defend. Yeah, as mentioned, the computer wants to take here, which also is very strong. I didn't consider this so much in the game, but it's very strong as well. If we look at this, knight d6, what's now? yeah, bishop d6, bishop d6. Oh, sorry, not bishop d6. Rook d5, of course, sorry. Yeah, rook d5, bishop d5, queen d5. This is also very strong as knight e5 is threatened. Yeah, there are multiple ways, but well, this is what he played. I took on d5. Yeah, and now, well, he captured here. What else is there? I'm just threatening too much here. Yeah, he took. I recaptured. Yeah, and now one important point is, of course, that if black takes here, I just have e3, attacking the queen, and still threatening to take the rook. There's also queen b7, also an important check. Yeah, he played knight c6, trying to hang on, but it's already beyond repair. Yeah, g3 is a strong move, not difficult to find, but still good. Bishop h3 is the next threat, and here he went queen e6. Yeah, here I calculated a bit bishop h3. It is winning, but then I decided to just keep it simple. I can show you the line. Bishop h3, it looks quite fancy, so I calculated it, this, and now bishop d6. Yeah, with all these discovered moves, it is a complete win. But what I did is just according to the keep it simple rule, played knight e5. This is just the easiest. He must take with a knight. What else is there? And now queen b7. That's important. First give the check so that you can pick up the rook with a check again. King drop back. This check. Yeah, and now yeah, there is. He played queen c8, but there is nothing else. He can go here, but then just knight c7 wins easily with the knight coming to d5. White is a piece up here. It's not just the mating attack that's decisive, but also a piece. Yeah, he played queen c8. Well, here I thought a moment, can I mate him? But it's just useless to spend any time on that. I just took on c8, and after that he resigned. After king takes, for example, this kind of line leaves white with an extra knight here, and yeah, no play whatsoever for the piece. So he resigned the game here. Very quick win in the second round. I was very delighted to have a clear win and a quick win to just save some. Yeah, to just save some energy for the upcoming rounds. It was already the second game of the day, and a very welcome quick win. Yeah, this sometimes can happen in those very, oops, this was a bit too much, in those very sharp openings as the Blumenfeld. You can easily yeah, make a misstep and then quickly lose the game. Yeah, bishop f4 was a bit of a surprise for him, I guess. We also talked briefly after the game, and it seems that he mostly concentrated his preparation on knight f3, which I mostly play, but d4 he didn't really consider. So, okay. Yeah, very nice quick win, and with 2 out of 2, I was guaranteed to get a really good opponent in the next round, as in this type of tournament, 2 out of 2 is not scored that often, so you're pretty much guaranteed to get one of the big guys. So yeah, this will be the subject of the third video to be released tomorrow, where I will have my first Grandmaster opponent in this tournament. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.